Welcome to a session on the topic evolution of Indian cinema. So we have Indian cinema as quite an important thing in the Indian society. Cinema itself is very important in Indian society. So we have these very popular films like Sholay, and there are many iconic films which are a great deal in India. And we even have actors being considered as gods in our country, and you can just see the pictures and understand the extent of effect that films have on Indian crowd. And most of the Indianness, if you call it, in Indian society, if you have it, it's related to Bollywood, and it's born out of the love for cinema. And where exactly or how exactly did cinema start in India? That's the question. So we need to start from the beginning. So it starts with the silent era, and it is obviously related to the Lumiere brothers, like any other place. So the first phase is the silent era and the Lumiere brothers. So, one of the biggest film industries had its birth soared by Auguste and Louis Lumiere, like the other, the beginning of film itself in other parts of the world. So, just like the other places, the Lumiere brothers, who invented the device cinematography, a camera and projector device which laid the early foundations of motion picture. So that is something that is there as part of the history. It is the Lumiere brothers who started or introduced the device cinematography. And before its invention, the biggest thing is that the same movie that we all sit in one huge room and watch together, it was not something that was popular earlier. Earlier only one person could see the film at a time, peeping through a device called kinetoscope. So that was how people watched movies. But with the Lumiere brothers, things changed. Projector, there was a camera and projector device, the cinematography, and therefore cinematography was a total game changer. So how is Lumiere brothers coming to India, or what exactly did Lumiere brothers do in India? So the brothers came to India in the year 1896, where they previewed six short films. You know, the Lumiere the film brothers clips are quite famous. So six of the short films were previewed in the Watson Hotel in Mumbai. Many film historians consider this as the advent, or this exactly was a time when people came to understand that such a thing was there. So it is more like a historical pin that you have on Indian cinema. There were no other Indian or indigenous films that were actually made for the next 15 years. So once the Lumiere brothers came to India, there was no much change for the next 15 years. And later in 1913, you have Dada Saheb Phalke, who was a fellow artist who turned filmmaker, who was very ambitious that Indians must see Indian movies on the Indian silver screen. That was what Dada Saheb Phalke had. This was a vision he had. And Phalke is considered to be the father of Indian cinema, where his first film was Raja Harish Chandra. It was the first Indian feature film, and which was basically a silent Marathi full feature film with mythological characters. So once, it is said that Phalke was influenced by the movie on Christ. He wanted to make something with Indian concept. So it's a movie with mythological characters. And this is a clip from the movie. And it was the movie in which Dada Saheb Phalke was influenced was the life of Christ, which and Raja Harish Chandra is something based on the life of Lord Krishna. So it had to be Indian, so it is Lord Krishna. And he also, there were many improvements that happened in Indian cinema or Indian, even technical aspects for itself, because Falke started the company called Falke Films. And he was basically an all-rounder in filmmaking itself. He was a producer, director, writer, cameraman, etc. And now we see Falke's vision living through Dada Saheb Phalke Award, given every year by the government of India. And with that, the silent era comes to an end, which started with the Lumiere brothers in 1896 and reached the zenith with Raja Harishchandra in 1913. And that silent era continued until 1930 by reaching the next phase in Indian cinema, talkies in Indian cinema, with the coming of talkies in Indian cinema, which was talking films or films with sound. So we have the transition to sound films from the silent films. So, as technology improved, just like how you can see things around yourself now, as technology improved, so did movies or films. And in 1931, you have the first sound film titled Alam Ara, which is translated as The Light of the World, directed by Ardeshir Irani. That was the first talkie. So earlier, Sounds with Film was called as talkies, first film to employ sound and film, speech and sound together. And the movie was basically a costume drama between, between two rival queens, and it had many songs and dances. Obviously, it had to bring out the beauty of sound, as it is the first sound movie. So it had many sounds and dances. And most of the sound films that came during that time, it was historic theme, and it was basically a celebration that most of the filmmakers wanted to show. Pre-British grandeur, Raj grandeur was something that they wanted to portray through the films of those times. So even amidst all the trouble that the country was going through with colonization and other things, they wanted to bring, that celebration of life. And then we move on to the 1950s, where we see the golden era, one of the most important, um, uh, you know, um, phases of Indian cinema we have. It is um, as it is with any tragic historical tragedy, bleak reality is followed up with resurgence and celebration of life. So there were many different themes. The reason why it is called Golden Era is because it dealt with many different themes, many vibrant themes in film itself, and it progressed to the 1950s. We see the Golden Era or Golden Age of Indian cinema with many filmmakers and films. And one of the main reason why it is called or considered as golden era is because of the inclusion of color. Color was an important aspect. And the dreary monochromatic films were now enlivened with bright colors. And the golden era, we have the most prominent, the first color film in Indian cinema. We have Kisan Kanya, which was a humanistic tale about the tough circumstances of poor farmers. And this was the first ever color film of Indian cinema. And even South Indian film industry was playing a huge role in reviving the artistic expression by making movies that were quite relevant to the reality. They started speaking about reality of life itself. So people were able to basically identify with the characters on stage, the story on stage, and all the other aspects that was, on the film. So Jeevitha Nauka is one of the films, South Indian films, that had a huge part to play in the uproar created by cinema itself. It is translated as The Boat of Life. It talks about the socio-economic disparity with a little bit of humor that reflected the degree of realism that people were into back during that time. And again, we have the most prominent and important filmmakers of the golden era, Satyajit Ray. He was, he basically dissected life, or he put human life itself under the lens, and a cinematic spectacle was made by or for the audience. And Akira Kurosawa, who's a Japanese filmmaker, very prominent filmmaker, he once said about Satyajit Ray, not to have seen the cinema of Ray means existing in the world without seeing the sun or the moon. So this is something, something said by Akira Kurosawa about Satyajit Ray. And Pater Panchali is one of the most famous movies of Satyajit Ray, where you have a poverty-stricken family navigating through the tough circumstances. And this was one of the breakthroughs in regional cinema itself, Bengali cinema itself, and it successfully garnered global recognition at the film festivals. And other important filmmakers we have in the golden age are Bimal Roy, you have Raj Kapoor, you have Mani Kaul, Kumar Sahni, and so on. And Bimal Roy's most famous film that we have is Devdas, not the recent one with Shah Rukh Khan, but the earlier one, Devdas, 1955 movie with Dilip Kumar. It gave what Indian cinema has so dearly attached itself to, antagonizing love triangles. The story is somewhat similar with the recent movie. So this is one of the clips from the movie. Then we reached the time of evergreen cinema, where it was basically the love struck hero and the Bollywood silver screen welcomed the new kind of hero, the angry young man. So, violence replaced love, realism replaced romanticism, and actions replaced emotions. One of the prominent figures that you can find in this angry young man face was Amitabh Bachchan himself in many of the movies like Namak Haram, Agnipath, Shehenshah, and so on. This is a clip. And 1950s, 1970s, the evergreen films were also the time when regional films came up, like film's first color film from Assam by the director Samarendra Narayan Dev. And then we reach the era of nostalgia, the famous 90s. We have Shah Rukh Khan and the very famous movie DDLJ Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. These were all basically set on the theme of love. Then, if you look into parallel cinema of this time, we have Meera Nayar's Salam Bombay, which was nominated for Oscars and winner of Cannes. Salam Bombay became the alternative voice to otherwise commercialized cinema. So, this is a very brief history of Indian cinema, evolution of Indian cinema. I hope you enjoyed the class. Thank you.